Hey everyone, Mike McClelland, SPRO Pro here, and I mean we've got something new and exciting coming this year. SPRO is actually going to do everything we can to let everyone out there know where SPRO baits came from. You know, when you look back at the history of SPRO and where it started and where it is today, it's really a pretty neat story. I mean, I look back at the first time I ever heard about SPRO baits, and I mean they were one of those first Japanese companies that came to the United States with really realistic looking baits. And, you know, then I remember Dean Rojas and the bronze eye frog. I mean, that was the hit back in the early 2000s. And I was just getting, you know, back on my feet and really getting started, you know, back in trying to qualify for the elites in 2004, 2005, and had the opportunity to come on board with SPRO and to see where the company was then to where the company has come to now. It's completely incredible. I mean, the things that have happened over the years. I mean, I look back at my history with SPRO, and they really haven't been in the United States that many years, and to be involved in that is really cool. So we're going to take an in-depth look this year at where SPRO came from, you know, what has made SPRO what SPRO is today, the baits, the anglers, the pros, the anglers that are just, you know, your recreational anglers that have been an influence on SPRO and do a lot of different cool things. I mean, you know, we may be trout fishing one week, we may be walleye fishing one week. We're just going to travel around the country as I'm fishing tournaments this year, and we're really going to look at where SPRO fits into all of these different areas of the country and what pros had a big part of developing baits that we as pro anglers and you guys, the consumers, are out there using day in, day out. Today, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, you know, Dean started really getting SPRO a lot of notoriety with the bronze eye frog, you know, and then came the poppin' frog, and then there's how many different versions of frogs now. And then you got, you know, John Cruz's involvement, I mean, with the Little John series. And then when I did get involved, you know, back in the mid-2000s, coming off, you know, a success of winning the Open Championship, and I remember the same gentleman that hired Dean came to me at an outdoor show. We were actually at a big vendor show, and he was like, well, we want you to design a series of stick baits, you know, jerk baits. You're known for throwing a jerk bait in the Ozarks. And, you know, I just remember, I mean, when you go back to my early days of jerkbait fishing, and I mean, this is going to be crazy to people. I mean, this was prior to me developing the SPRO McStick. This was the very box that I was fishing out of. I mean, this is a series of jerkbaits that, you know, as you can see, there's Smithwick Rogues in here. I'm actually shocked that there's not some of the other brands in here as well, but and basically I took all of the characteristics from all these various jerkbaits that I have thrown, and I put it all into what is now the McStick 110. And this is kind of cool. I mean, this literally right here, this bait right here was the very first rendition of a McStick 110. And the thing that's unique, if you look at here, it's got a square bill. I really thought I was going to revolutionize the world with a different action in a jerkbait by putting a square bill on it. It didn't work. It was a complete fail. But we developed different bills, and I say we, I mean, I literally would sit down and carve and cut bills out of CD cases, any kind of hard plastic that I could to manufacture a bill. And once we got the body design, now it was, you know, I drew the picture, they built the body, they put the bill on the bait that I thought I wanted on it in the beginning. But we had to basically just keep working through the process, and it wasn't an easy process. I really believe from the time we started the McStick 110, from start to actual introduction, I bet we were almost 2 years, 18 months to 2 years getting there. But you know, this was the original, and digging around in this stuff, I haven't been in it for years. These were some of the very first painted working jerkbaits. So you can see where it went from the square bill to the actual bill that gave it the tighter wobbling action. I mean, growing up here on Table Rock, fishing bull shoals, beaver, Lake of the Ozarks, Grand, there were certain types of baits that we all as anglers threw in that region. And You know, back during that day, a wigglewort was a mainstay.
We've tried to figure out the real reason, but it's just a bait I think so many people have confidence in. There's other crankbaits they'll bite, but there's something about that bait that's just a no-lose situation when you tie it on.
That's what led to the whole development of the rock crawler series. And you know, that all started, man, I guess somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2012 or 13. I tried to get SPRO to get involved and let me build what is now the rock crawler. And these were actually baits that we worked on as early as like 2013, I believe. Had working prototypes, but it was literally after 2015 when I won the Elite Series here on Table Rock that I finally got to move forward with this whole rock crawler project.
McStick sticks him again, a 7-time Bassmaster winner. Once again, tastes Elite Series victory with 61 pounds, 15 ounces.
One thing about it is it never ceases to stop around here. It's that time of the year. We're getting ready to hit the road. We're getting ready to load the RV up, hook onto the boat with the Toyota Tundra, go to the first tournament of the year. It's Meemaw time right now. What is it that makes a small company like SPRO big? I can walk out here on this deck and really see exactly where that comes from. I mean, I would have never dreamed 40 years ago that I would be living here on Table Rock Lake with a view like this, because I mean, I came from a very, very humble background. I mean, you know, my fishing started just over that ridge over there below Table Rock Dam on Taneycomo, trout fishing. I waded the creeks and walked the banks, literally walked the banks right here below me. I mean, my aunt and uncle lived right here on this point below where I live today. I would have never dreamed that I would have accomplished the things that I've accomplished, and it's really all just been a matter of being in the right place during the right period of time and having the right things happen to me. I mean, I say daily that I feel so blessed to be where I am today. I mean, it's unbelievable thinking back to, you know, my dad taking me fishing, my grandpa taking me fishing, my uncle, my aunt and uncle that lived right down here. My grandfather and grandmother actually developed the whole other side of this ridge that I live on now, and that's why I am where I am today. I mean, I moved away from this area, Southwest Missouri, for a lot of years, and finally had the opportunity to come back up here 6 years ago. Shortly after I won my last tournament event, the Open here on Table Rock. So I just feel blessed to be able to be in the situation I'm in, and it's cool to be involved with a company like SPRO and see the growth that they've obtained through the efforts of John Cruz, Dean Rojas, all the other pros that have been involved with SPRO, and the baits and the products that they've come with at the right times throughout the course of, you know, the period that I've been fishing tournaments. And it's incredible to just see how this all goes down.